MLR Robbie, welcome along to MLR Daily. What a brilliant football match yesterday at Wembley when Spurs took on Chelsea in the semi-final of the FA Cup. Before the game, we were all talking about how evenly matched this game was, how hard it was to call who would be the winner, and it turned out that way. Despite the scoreline, which was Chelsea winning the game by 4-2, it was a very, very even game. Chelsea went into an early lead, a fantastic free kick by Willian. Spurs then equalised through Harry Kane. Another goal for Chelsea, a penalty this time. What was Son doing on that penalty to give it away? Foul Victor Moses, penalty taken by Willian. And there were 2-1, but then in the second half, Spurs came storming back. Dele Alli with a great goal. And for a long time, it looked like Spurs were the team on the ascendancy. It looked like Spurs were going to be the team that were going to win it. But then Conte played his ace card. He'd left out Hazard and Costa from the start of the game, which had been a real surprise to a lot of people. But listen, he got it all right. He brought those two on and they completely changed the game. 2 more goals for Chelsea, a great finish by Hazard, and then an absolute stormer of a goal by Emmanuel Matic to win the game. Spurs running out, Chelsea running out, 4-2 winners. Could have been more in the end, as a matter of fact. And it was a fantastic game, fantastic atmosphere. But Chelsea, yet again, proving their mettle. And a lot of people said it could be a statement for the title race, whichever team won. I think the statement was made by Chelsea that even with leaving out 2 of their top players and not even being at their best, they still managed to win the game by 4-2, and they are through to the final of the FA Cup, and the double is on for Chelsea. So fantastic for Conte in his first season. Of course, the other semi-final takes place today. I'm going to be there. Arsenal taking on Manchester City, who will face Chelsea in the final. It's again another one of these games that's very hard to call. Man City, on the surface of it, they look they look the favourites. They look the team that should go through. But you never know in the FA Cup what's going to happen, and it wouldn't be beyond Arsenal to, throw a surprise there today and win the game. So really exciting game to look forward to. Of course, there were Premier League games as well taking place yesterday, and a lot of those games affected the bottom of the table. Bournemouth more or less making sure that they're safe now in the Premier League with a 4-0 demolition job of Middlesbrough, who are now in deep, deep trouble after that defeat. Downing apologising to the Middlesbrough fans after the game. That's how poor they played. But that was a very damaging defeat for Middlesbrough. In the other game, though, Hull, they showed a lot of mettle. They were down to 10 men after 25 minutes when Niasse got sent off. Very controversial sending off. But they still managed to win the game by 2-0. Excellent performance by Hull. I was talking about them yesterday, about how good they are at home. And again, Marco Silva, this guy is, will he still be at Hull next season as the manager? Because certainly with every game, his estimations go up. And that was a fantastic win for Hull and, could be the sort of win that keeps them in the division, showing a lot of fighting spirit. A lot of fighting spirit also, though, showed by the other team down there in big trouble, and that's Swansea. They also had a big 2-0 win over Stoke City. Llorente on the score sheet again, and they really, really needed that. I mean, imagine if they'd have lost that, they'd have been in big trouble, but they won the game, so that was a big win for them. In the other game, a real boring 0-0 draw, this one, West Ham versus Everton. Everton were looking to push to get into those top 4 places. I think that's all over now with that draw yesterday. Everton drawing that game with West Ham 0-0. Bad news for Manchester United. We touched on it yesterday. It's sort of been confirmed now that Marcos Rojo and, of course, Zlatan Ibrahimovic both suffered cruciate knee ligament injuries in the game the other night in the Europa League, which is really, really damaging for Manchester United, and they're both going to be out long term. And as I said yesterday, is this the end of Ibrahimovic? It'd be really sad to see him go out like this, but he is definitely out. Manchester United, of course, have got a game today, so those injuries don't come at the right time. They're really depleted at the back. Remember, Smalling's still out, Jones is still out, so they're really depleted at the back. and they go away to Burnley, and that won't be easy. Burnley's a tough place to go to. United will still be a bit tired from that game the other night. Remember, it went to extra time, but they do have Marcus Rashford, and anything can happen with that kid on the pitch. He's been performing brilliantly this season. And in the other game, Liverpool are at home to Crystal Palace. Liverpool will be looking to cement their top 4 place. Maybe in the back of their minds, still thinking maybe of a title challenge. You never know. But Palace is a team that always seems to give Liverpool trouble. It's a bit one of Liverpool's bogey teams. Who can forget a couple of years ago when Liverpool were closing in on the title? It was Palace, was one of those teams that threw a spanner in the works for them. So it won't be the easiest of games. And remember, Palace still fighting to, you know, sort of make sure that they're still in the division. And if we look at that bottom 4 at the moment, you can see Sunderland there on 21 points. They're almost gone. Middlesbrough as well, almost gone. 24 points now. They're starting to fall away. Swansea on 31, and Hull, that was important for them, on 33. But as I said, Crystal Palace there on 35 points, not completely safe yet. Even Burnley, 36 points. I think they would like to get one more win just to make sure that they're clearly away from that relegation zone. We'll be all over it. I'm off to Wembley right now. Looking forward to the game. We'll be reporting on that tomorrow here on Man Like Robbie.
Man Like Robbie.